family members as well as band members, just talking about the man that was Mjokes, popularly known as Mjokes, but for many at home he will always be remembered as Emmanuel. We heard a very moving tribute from his daughter, who said her Sundays will never be the same because, you know, her father, who was a cool dad, who'd always come to her house unannounced and would sit for a Sunday lunch with her, is not longer going to be doing that. You know, we've heard about him being a family man and how he's left really big shoes to fill within the family. We've also heard stories of how he was a unifier within the group Trompies, and how he will be remembered for his comedy and his very great sense of humor, and how his sense of humor led to so many hits that we now know Trompies for. But I'm not alone right now. I'm actually joined by the head of one of the stables that Trompies was actually signed under, Kalawa Jazzmee. I'm joined by Oskido. Thank you so much for speaking to us and allowing us to speak to you. This is a very difficult time for the stable, losing someone like Mjokes, particularly because of how he's been described as a unifier and so on. Talk to us about how you are feeling as the head of the stable and how you will remember the giant that is Mjokes.
It's only Kalawa Jazzmee. I mean, there's 6 directors, myself, Don Laka, there's Bruce, there's Mandla, Mjokes was part of it, there's Mawuta. So people always think I'm the head. I'm not the head. We are all equal. So I think, I mean, I've got no words, man, to express how I feel right now, but it's a huge loss for us, you know, at Kalawa Jazzmee, and also as the industry, and also as Trompies, because, you know, when we used to sit in our meetings, you know, if a business has been running for almost 25 years and it's about, say, 6 guys, definitely there are bound to be differences. And, you know, he's managed to keep us together. You know, I mean, I've got my own way of doing things. Mawuta has got his own way. Bruce has got his own way. Speaker has got his own way. So he's always been there to come in and calm us down. And I think he was the holding. He was holding us together. And what I'll miss the most out of him was his humbleness, humility. And that's what it's always been there. Even whatever we're going through, personal matters, family matters, business matters, he will really try and calm us down, and also saying, guys, this is the way we can think. And once we see him and see that he's calm, we also calm down and say, hey, gents, you know we're having problems here, but let's pick up our pieces and work.
Just as an aside, Kalawa Jazzmee is a huge music stable, and it's responsible for the Kwaito sound and responsible for a lot of music within the 90s. Talk to us about, you know, the creativity and, you know, how it has come to be that, you know, you as a stable would bring about a huge movement like Kwaito music and be behind such a huge movement.
Yeah, I mean, we started the Kwaito movement, I mean, when, 1994, when we were free, it was the youth of that time saying this is what we want to celebrate. And we started to do our own music, which is now called Kwaito. And from Kwaito, I mean, the good thing is that Kwaito gave us ownership, But when we didn't have that ownership, what happened is that, we couldn't sell our cassettes anyway. So therefore, what we did is at that time, Peter Mkaba was there as the NC Youth League president, and then he started moving with us. So that's why a lot of people see us, Libo Mbaks, Libo Malius Kikaba at that time. Now we used to follow them in those rallies, and when we are there, Wolebo would start performing. Remember, there was no TV, there was anything. So then when we start performing, we start selling our cassettes there, and this is how we used to distribute our music. That's how we started distributing our music, going a lot with the NC Youth Youth League. That's why even when Julius came in, Mjokes brought him to us. He introduced him to us. He continued doing that, and we started spreading the music. And from the music, we started developing. When we're developing, we started developing artists, making sure that they create their own stables. And from there, we've created a lot. Not only as Kalawa, because that's why it's called University of Kalawa. We create artists, and after that we help them to be brands. And here we are today. There's Mapiano movement. All that movement started. It's Kwaito, do you understand? But it's done. You can call it New Age Kwaito, but it's done by the young kids. But if you listen to the bass lines, those are all the old Kwaito bass lines, and this is where it is. If you can see guys who are running the movement, young kids like guys like Maporisa. Mjokes is the one who brought Maporisa to us. He came in, he says, he was a young guy from Pretoria. I said, hey, here is this guy. And that guy used to come in, whatever, but check where he is today. So we're going to miss what Mjokes was, to unite us. Because now I'm a crazy guy. Mahuta Kilihlanya. Speakery is crazy. Bruce Lee is a punk. So, but when Mjokes was there at the meeting, he will calm us down. And we're going to miss him. That's why he called his son Jazzmee. We are Kalawa Jazzmee. His firstborn is called Jazzmee. And all we want to say is that RIP, wherever you are, my brother, we're going to miss you, but we are going to continue the legacy of Kalawa Jazzmee. Is not going to die.
It's very noble of Mjokes to actually try and just harness the skills of the youth and so on. And it seems as though from this conversation that, music and politics have enjoyed a very lengthy relationship, given the fact that, those rallies were opportunities for...
Yeah, but I think a lot of people mistaken it, that it was the politics of tenders. Because a lot of people, when they see me going with Mjokes, I've known Mjokes for 25 years. I've known, them for a long time. But it was a matter of them helping the movement. That's why a lot of people always say, as the movement, what have we attained in 1994? Remember, in 1994, Kwaito is the first generation to own its masters, to have ownership. If the first time Kispana Liprayu, he didn't know what a publishing was. He didn't know what ownership, because they used to record in white people's studios, and those people used to take their rights. But the Kwaito movement, we had ownership, but we didn't have the distribution. The ANC Youth League of that time gave us the distribution by us going to those shows, because the big shops, they didn't want to take our music, but we had to go. Happy Tamkaba goes to next to the Shell House there, doing rallies and all that. We put our tapes, taxi drivers started thing, and that's how the music started spreading. So it became more of a distributor. So it wasn't because of politics, but it was the movement understood who we are. Mjokes understood who we are. Hence he carried the flag. Even from now, when we meet, I don't talk politics with him. Even when they are Julius, I don't politics with them. What we do is that we talk music.
Absolutely.
RIP Mjokes. And Mjokes knew that. This is where we are.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. There you have it. That was Oskido, one of the managers and the directors of Kalawa Jazzmee. Now, earlier on, you would have seen what seemed to have been a little bit of a commotion coming from one of the Kalawa Jazzmee musicians, Eugene Mtetwa, who seems to be rather unhappy with the manner in which the Department of Arts and Culture has handled monies meant for artists, and we saw him standing up and starting to sing a song that Mjokes is popularly known by, and essentially just trying to deny the MEC for arts and culture an opportunity to speak, saying that the MEC does not know Mjokes, and only Mbalula can speak on about anything regarding Mjokes, given the fact that he knew him personally and had such a personal and intimate relationship.